What's up, beautiful people? I haven't made a video in quite some time, actually. And I genuinely came up here to speak about free bleeding and what that looks like and the importance of it, because, you know, we live in a society of our own perspectives and the way we see life, and some of us go against the grain with things and some of us go with the grain, and depending on whatever the grain is, right? But I'm a full moon bleeder at this time in my journey, and I have been free bleeding for quite some time. I genuinely love to be in nature. If you watch my content, you already know that about me. You know, but in the same breath, I do find myself being in the house and like doing the duties of motherhood and being present with all the duties of that and the duties of partnership and selfhood, that sometimes I forget to bring myself outside and just like really connect with the land and with the earth and sitting on the ground bare ass, you know? And so I'm learning these days to really appreciate when my cycle comes, because it gives me the opportunity to really sit down and not just physically, but really take in all that has come in the cycle before and all that wants to be let go of in the same, regard. So free bleeding has taught me how to do that, because you're not finna be moving around, walking around, rolling around, doing this, doing that, running errands, repeating yourself. Like, you're not finna be doing a lot of things because you're so self-aware of the wetness between your legs and the stain, like blood stains. And so you're very mindful. I am very mindful when I'm moving about with nothing on, how to, just how to be, really, how to not be messy. And that messiness isn't just like physical, it's so spiritual, because this is a raw point, this is a raw space. And what you say during your bleed, what you say leading up to it and thereafter, so really at all times, it's about being aware of the stains that you want to leave in certain places. And stains are not bad. Stains are not a bad thing. It's just staining everything, staining the entire canvas, Yeah. So I'm learning how to bleed and not apologize for it and not feel like it's wrong to release this way. Because these are deep-seated subconscious programs that when you put a tampon in your vagina, you're not really probably seeing things in this way. That's just the facts, at least from my experience. I won't put it on everybody, right? Because that wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be fair. But I also am realizing that when you start to bleed on the earth, or you have a space to not be obstructed while you release, it's like you're creating and holding space for your womb. Feeling when your womb is cramping, being so aware and so open to every single cramp and release and relaxation that comes while you're bleeding. It is a profound experience if you allow it to be that. You might find that you don't need as much sustenance. You might find that liquids, things high in minerals, fruits, great for the blood, like even things like purple dead nettle that grows readily on the ground, or or common blue violet that looks like a yoni womb of the leaves, slimy, mucilaginous. Like this is what I mean is when you start sitting on the ground and paying attention to what's on the ground as you relax, a whole world opens up. A whole world opens up. When it's like it's like not making excuses anymore for of why you're not connected. It's really, really, after a while it gets pretty old. Hearing people complain about their woes. Like being stuck in victimhood. I don't want to be stuck in victimhood. And that's honestly part of what this release is showing me. It's showing me, Kiana, you don't want to be stuck in victimhood. There are things far more appealing, far more fun and powerful. The thing about it though is you gotta go through the victimhood. You gotta go through the processing of victimness in your womb space. And how that is like clotting you. Like you gotta do it. You just gotta feel it. And then seeing how that leads somebody like me to just be like, I'm not going to put any more barriers on this shit coming out. That's the juicy part. I'm not putting any more barriers on how this grief comes out of me. How this excessive pleasure seeking comes out of me. As great as pleasure is, there is a balance. And maybe this conversation is coming up right now because it is a full moon in Libra at this time when you're watching this video. But the balance of knowing how to purge and how to receive. See, as I sit here on the ground, I'm receiving one, just the natural vibrations of the earth, like undeniable. If you don't know what that is, you need to literally pause the video and go sit outside and see how earth feels on your ass, on your balls, on your vagina lips, on your anus, depending on how you're sitting. So I'm receiving the energy of the earth, and in the same breath, I am giving the earth what nutrients and things are not necessary for my body anymore. What waste products are not necessary in my blood anymore. What grief, unresolved grief that is literally coming out this month, I'm giving it back to something that can utilize it, and something that can not just contain it, but transform it into nutrients for this tree, this plant, that plant, this insect, that insect. And maybe I'm not sitting on the ground. Maybe I'm standing up. Maybe the blood is trickling down my leg. And just to be clear, I used to be bleeding for like at least a week. That's not the case when I started free bleeding. I went from being a nice 7 days with a possible 1 extra day of, 7th day is coming down, kind of nothing, goes away. 8th day comes back, and then I'm really done. But I went from being on that rhythm to a much shorter period, a much shorter bleed time, a much shorter, irritational expression, because so much oxygen is getting to me, truly to my mouth. Like, this is the frequency coming out of my body. I actually get to breathe without obstruction. This is the great exhale of my womb. It's the great exhale. And we're putting things in our bodies that are that are obstructing or protruding out or preventing the flow. Some people's bodies are so sensitive that literally nothing should be in there while they are releasing, because there's so much built up that has to come out that any little bit of obstruction is going to cause them great discomfort. I remember I used to have so many cramps when I would use like tampons. I would have cramps. I just would have, and then I was like, oh, the cup is good. The cup is good. This is no shade to any of these things, right? Because people are where they are. I was in those places too. But looking in hindsight, I realized the discomfort my body was in that I would like kind of just breeze past, because I'm like, well, I got to go to work. I got to do this, or I got to do that. And honestly, y'all, I'm a mother. You ain't got to do nothing. You may not have the life in the way that you wanted, but you ain't got to do not a damn thing. You may use up your quote-unquote sick time and sick days, but you don't have to do nothing. What you should do is take care of your body, because without the security of your body, how can the spirit truly live freely in this place, which we are here but a moment of time? And the prioritization, see, these are downloads that have come from me opening my legs and letting myself relax and rest and sit and not control while I am purging. This is it. Because what are we truly doing? I actually don't get it anymore. I don't get the way that logic is logicking. If you don't feel well when you are bleeding, that is a serious indication that there is deep work, deep somatic, deep intelligent electrical system, aka nervous system work to be done. Mental things to be tended to. Like, our bodies are but an indicator. It's an indicator of processing what it is we're picking up as we journey on this earth plane. And us as womb holders are very fortunate to have another layer of indication to be like, look, it's time. It's time. It's time. Because there will come a time where that time is no more, and that begins a whole nother journey, a whole nother type of awareness of when the body is purging. And people who don't make time for that space tend to have probably hot flashes all the time. People who are not tending to the womb space and the womb care or the reproduction aspect of themselves. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in discomfort when it comes to my internal womb space and body function systems. I don't like it. And I know that there are times where discomfort has to surface in order for us to understand a new level of comfortability. But once I get the message, it's like, okay, we're getting the message. We're making progress, whether just a little or a lot. But this idea that we have to keep going like our body is not, like our body is a secondary thing, when it's not. Our body is a very primary thing. You came here because you wanted to be in a body on a certain level. You want to be in a body. You want to feel. You want to heal. Because you want to feel what it feels like to heal. It's a feeling experience. And if you're finding that the feelings that are being relayed to you are not the feelings that you desire anymore, now that you are aware, give yourself some grace and go and go be present with your body. Give yourself the autonomy to be like, I'm going to sit down. I'm gonna set my scenario, my living space up. No matter your living space, no matter if you're in the trees or if you are in an apartment or if you're living outside, quote unquote homeless, but really you are at home in your body always. But you are living amongst the elements in a very direct way. There are really no buffers. Whatever your setup is, really think about how you feel in your body, especially my womb holders. Think about how you feel in your relationships when you're releasing. What is your womb trying to convey to you and tell you? And some people don't even know what that looks like. They don't even, like, I'm speaking this and it's not registering because that's how far removed from feeling. If I'm telling you this and nothing is downloading and you're damn near about to be 20 minutes into this video, you need to go dance. You don't need to do nothing, but I advise you to do something that will allow you to get more in tune with the feeling part of you. Because it's going to change your damn life. It's going to change the entire way that you see reality. When you start to feel. When you start to feel yourself. You feel me? When you start to feel and not judging what you feel. We're not judging what we feel. There is enough judgments, negative judgments, because judging is not bad. But if you're judging how you feel, you're not really feeling. You're judging. Those are two verbs. Like, I don't like how I can see this pimple or whatever, this oil bump or whatever it is. I don't like when my face and my skin tells me that it's unhappy. I don't like it. I've judged that now. I don't like it. Now let's just feel it. See, when you start feeling it, you realize that it's not even about that. It's not even about the skin. It's not even about that. It's not even about that. It's not even about that. It's not even about it. Lemongrass. It's not even about that. I don't know about you, but the way that I was taught to exist served me at that time in my journey. The way I was taught to exist as a child served me in my journey. I appreciate my mother for nurturing my womb and paying for pads and all the things. And like, I really appreciate that because I didn't know and understand this type of life at that time. This would have been a very foreign concept to me, like a whole different reality and paradigm. So we start from the place of gratitude in all that we do. We begin in gratitude. But I also forgive my mother and her mother and her mother's mother for not placing their feet upon the earth. I forgive them for becoming estranged to nature in pursuit of lines and boxes, homes and cars and stability, or what they thought was stability. Like, I forgive them for that. And I forgive the women they were around as well. I forgive myself for the years that I didn't appreciate naturalness from something as simple as blood coming from my vagina. And the beauty of it, and the ceremony of it, and the ritual of it. So, with a brief momentary pause, I encourage you, if you're watching this, keep being free. Keep doing what you feel you should. Keep growing, keep expanding. I mean, the messages become all the same eventually. Whether you start with free bleeding, whether you start with plant medicines, whether you start with sobriety, whether you start with Jesus Christ, whether you start with Allah, it doesn't matter. Whether you start in the faith community, whether you start just trying to be a mindful mama or a great dad or fitness, I don't give a dang. If you start because you went raw and you starting to see things, I'm trying to tell you, be free in your body. This is an embodiment. It's an embodied experience. If it's not in the body, then what are you doing? Begin in the body first. I understand more deeply the purpose of the root chakra and the sacral chakra. Feel safe in your body. Get to know it. Get to know your womb. Get to know your reproductive, how you're treating the first chakra, which is the sacral chakra. How are you treating it? If you're still at the point in your journey where you're hoeing around and wasting energy away that you don't even have to give, it really is for you. If you're in your point of your journey where you're messing with multiple people who aren't pouring into you, or even just one person who's not pouring into you in the way that you need in order for your cup to be filled, let's start there. That's the first. That's starting with the foundation, the base. Procreation. Procreation of art, of babies. How are you treating your procreational energy that you so divinely blessed yourself with when you came here? How are you treating it? If your body is telling you that it don't like how you treating it, listen. Try to have a conversation. Why? Why do I feel like this? Where is this starting from? Start from your toes and work your way to your head. Have a conversation with a hair follicle. That's a very gross example. We're not talking even about the heart. We're not talking about the womb, the yoni. We're not even talking about, your back or your head or your shoulders and your neck. We're not even talking about that. Tap in with your body. And on that note, with all the love, with all the grace, with all the encouragement, as my sister friend who I be watching her videos online, with all of the everything, be kind on the earth plane. But first, be kind to yourself on the earth plane. And remember why you're even here. Remember why you even chose to be here. And remember yourself back together. Weave your internal self back together so that you can see what the next thing is. What the next present moment is presenting itself to be. So that you're not overwhelmed by long-term goals and stuff that you want to do on the earth plane, because you are like pausing, held up, paused, inadvertently because not really checking in with the body. Okay? So from the womb to the fruits, be kind on the earth plane. I love you. You love you. If you're watching this video to this point, I know that you love you. Keep shining. Keep doing your thing. Stay gold. Stay loved. And all the things. And if you are a full moon bleeder, baby, your girl is right here with you, encouraging and loving on you from a distance in the nature, eating plants. Okay. Peace.